Hey there guys, and welcome to another Fusion 360 tutorial. And what we're going to be doing here is creating the grooves that are in this handle grip. So they don't show up too great there because it's dark, but if we go to the render view they show up a little bit better. So you see these grooves here, perfectly distributed around our shape. We're going to look at how to create this. It's a little bit tricky. If you were to try and model these yourself, it's not going to be easy to do. So let's skip back to our model without the grooves and get going. So we're going to be using the Project to Surface tool for this tutorial. It's quite a powerful tool, very useful. And then we're going to be using the Loft tool as well to loft between two objects along a rail. So let's start off by creating our shape to our groove. So we're going to create a construction offset plane, and we'll offset from here by 30 so it's above our handle, and go OK. And now we'll create a sketch that is on this plane. Go to a top-down view, and we'll get our spline tool, and we'll start on our center line here from the end there, and we'll curve out and around like so, and we finish here. So that's going to be our shape. Click the little check mark there, and we're done. So you can see this shape. If we wanted to have this follow the shape of our handle, you'd have to do a lot of manipulation of these points, dragging these handles to try and form this to an exact shape and curve that matches our grip here. Now this is quite a simple grip. You could maybe stand a chance of doing this, but on a more complex curved surface, a terrain surface, something like that, you are not going to be able to do this. It's going to be an absolute nightmare. So here's how we do it. We have a tool called Project to Surface. Now if I just go ahead and try to project this onto the surface, it's not going to work. We're going to get an error here. It took me a little bit of time when I was learning how to do this to figure out why they were getting that error, but you do get an error. So we'll go to Finish Sketch. What we need to do is create a new sketch on our origin plane. We don't do anything, we don't draw anything there, and now we go to Project to Surface. We select our surface and we select our curve. Now we go to a top-down view. You'll see it doesn't quite match, and that's because we're using closest point. If we change this to be along a vector and then project direction, we choose our vertical axis here. Now it's projected perfectly. So we go to OK, Finish Sketch. Now we can hide our original sketch, we don't need that one anymore. And you'll see now we have a nicely projected curve that perfectly matches our surface. So next thing, we zoom into this area here. We are going to create a sketch on this surface. Hit P to project in, and we're going to project into this point here. Grab a center circle, and we make it 1 millimeter in diameter. Finish Sketch. We're done on that side. Oh no, one other thing that we should do to edit sketch. One thing that we want to do is turn our intersection into a construction line. So otherwise we're going to end up with two different faces here, because at the moment this circle is cut in half. So what we want to do is select this, right click, and normal construction. So that changes this to a construction line. You'll see it's now dashed, and it will no longer interfere with our circle. This circle is no longer intersected. Okay, so Finish Sketch, and now we need to do exactly the same thing on this end here. Okay, so make sure nothing's selected. Sketch this surface, P to project in, select that point, enter, circle, center point, drag it out 1 millimeter, and we change this to construction and finish sketch. Now we're done. Okay, so we could use the sweep command, and we could sweep this profile along this path. Looks like it might work. However, if we go to the end point, you'll see some funny geometry there. Okay, look at the end here. We're going to end up with some strange geometry if we do this. If I hit enter, there, it's not tidy on this end, as you can see. So let's undo that. Instead, we will use the loft tool. So we're going to loft, and we're going to loft between this face and this other face over here. So it lofts a straight line. It's not what we want. We want this loft to follow our curve. So we choose center line, select our center line to be this shape, and now when we go to OK, we had our sketch, it's cut our groove. Look at that. Very easy to do and to create this complex looking shape. Okay, now we need to copy this lots of times, but before I do that, I'm going to add a small fillet to the edges. So we'll select this edge and this edge, fillet, and we'll make it 0.5. Now, to copy this multiple times all the way around our object, we are going to use the pattern tool, and we will use a circular pattern. And we want to pattern here features. Okay, we're not going to pattern faces, bodies, or components, features. And the objects, or the features that we're going to pattern, will be the fillet and the loft. And the axis that we're going to pattern this around will be our blue axis here, circular. And the quantity, we'll make it 13. Now this will take a little bit of time to do, depending on the power of your computer. You hit OK. And what we're asking it to do now basically is repeat the loft function and the fillet 13 times, equidistant all the way around our handle. And now that is done, you'll see all the way around the handle we have our grips and our grooves cut into there. So that's how we would create this kind of feature. That's how you use the project to surface tool and how you use the circular pattern with a feature. So I hope that you found this video useful. If you did, be sure to click the subscribe button. You can always head over to www.fusion360tutorials.com for more information. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.